Welcome to Design Your Way, the podcast that helps you build a career that truly reflects who you are. You're finishing your studies or just starting out in the professional world, in architecture, design, or any other creative field, and you're wondering how to navigate this transition, how to find your path and build a career that feels meaningful to you. I'm Luce Blanche, a final year architecture student in France, passionate about creation, communication, and entrepreneurship. Here we talk about everything that we didn't learn in school. How to land your first job, understanding the reality of the profession, creating your own project, or presenting yourself in a way that attracts opportunity. We'll meet twice a month with episodes of expert interviews, conversations with other young professionals, and also some more personal episodes where I share my reflections and what I learned along the way. Whether you're a student, a recent graduate, or already starting your own career, this podcast is a support for you to give you practical tips, advice, and strategies to move forward at your own pace. So are you ready to build your career as intentionally as your projects? Welcome to Design Your Way. So let's dive into the first episode. It's a solo one where I will share with you my journey, my goal, and my strategies with Design Your Way. Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. I'm so excited to do this first episode. This is more of an introduction, but also will help you understand this project and what you will be able to take out of it. So let's get started. So you get a bit of context. I'm finishing off my architecture studies. I'm finishing my last year of master's right now, which means that in June I will be graduated and have to find a job or at least build a career of my own to be able to sustain myself. This has been a very massive deadline for me in the past few months and has really pushed me to take action, to gather experience, but also to reflect and rethink about what I want for my life and how I want to go around building my own career. As a matter of fact, I don't have that much knowledge about what comes after university, and I'm really wanting to figure it out. Thanks to my YouTube channel and my work on social media, I have a few contacts and I really want to learn from them. So having this podcast for me is such a great opportunity to be able to have conversations with them and to learn more about architecture and the professional world and everything that comes after university. And as much as I really need this information to be able to build my own career, I figured a lot of people might actually have the same problem as me, and that this information and these questions might be useful to way more people than my own person. So here comes the podcast. The goal is for you to be able to learn everything that I'm learning through this podcast, so it can help you if you're in a similar situation, to give you the information, the advice, and the strategies to start your own career and help you make the right decisions for you. My goal with this podcast is to have a space where we can share our vision, where we can ask questions, and where we can share the journey together. So for you to understand a little bit more, I will just do a little brief summary of who I am and why I started architecture. I would say I've always been pretty creative. I always loved drawing. I've gotten really interested in houses very early on. I was just drawing plans and imagining houses on the beach. And it was just so much fun. It felt a bit natural to go to architecture. This became a real goal of mine since I was maybe 15 years old, and my goal was to be able to build houses for people. So after high school, I went to university. I got accepted into an architecture school. It's called ENSA Nantes in France, and started my architecture journey. I have personally no background or no network in architecture and had no clue what would come when I would start architecture. And I have to say, when I started university, I really found out a reality of the real professional architecture world that didn't really fit my expectations or some of the goals that I had in mind. Especially, I was really shocked to learn how complicated and toxic the working industry can be when I heard about unpaid extra hours or the amount of work that came with architecture, or just how low the salary was compared to the amount of work and knowledge. I thought to myself, that's not what I want, and I want to find a way to make it work so I don't have to fit into this model. Since I was so surprised by so many things, I also decided to share this view over on the internet and started a YouTube channel. My goal was to educate about the reality of architecture studies, since there was pretty much no information at that time, and share my journey as an architecture student. I then went on Erasmus in Germany, and there I pretty much started to question my want to do architecture. I tried a few different things, especially landscape or urban design, and I got really interested in it. And I kind of figured maybe architecture in the way that I thought about it before doesn't really fit me, or it's not really what I want to do. And as much as I was questioning this, I also started questioning my YouTube channel and what I was saying on social media, because I didn't fit the perfect architecture student anymore. And I really felt disconnected to the people that were watching my videos, who were mostly high schoolers, really into architecture. And I was feeling like I don't really relate to that anymore. And I didn't really manage to make the switch. I think I had many things to figure out on my own, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I was pretty lost, and I thought I can't really lead people if I myself don't know where I am or where I want to go. But I kept going, and eventually I figured, yeah, maybe I can just do something else, or I will figure out on my own. But after that, I think I just grew up a little bit. I learned a little bit more. I gathered a bit more experience, especially with an internship in city planning. This really helped me, I guess, to think to myself, yeah, I don't have to have everything already planned out. I will just learn on the way and figure it out as I go. And I also decided to start doing some stuff on the side. So I started doing a little bit of freelance design, and as much as I was designing, I really had to understand what I was doing. And so I started listening to podcasts about branding and marketing, and this really opened my eyes. There were a few ones about personal branding, and I figured out what I had been building until then. I understood how everything that I had done had worked out. At that time, I had no knowledge, and I was doing everything intuitively, not understanding anything I was doing. And having this time of just getting the theory after having done the practice helped me understand everything that I had built on my own without any permission, without any person pushing me. And I decided to start again, but I had to change it. And so I adjusted it to the person I am now with the questions I am asking myself now. And those questions are: what comes after university? How to manage the transition between the studies and the professional world, and also how to build a career that fits me, that fits my expectations, that fits the lifestyle that I want, and how can I create some projects or businesses that can sustain me without having to fit into this toxic industry in the same way. I think it's mostly a big part of me that is just like craving independence and creativity, and also just the curiosity part of me that wants to learn more and ask other people, and just not making it only about me but also about others. From what I heard, most of us working in creative fields are asking ourselves this big question of what will really happen after graduation, how to create a career that fits us, and how do we manage to create an activity that fulfills us creatively but also is sustainable for us to live from it. And so here comes this podcast. What is my strategy to learn about it, and why do I want to share it? So this podcast is a place that is meant to be a place where you can learn, where you can think and reflect about yourself, ask yourself the right questions, and get the keys or the strategies to be able to help you build your own project that will end up being your own career. The goal is to really be able to design your own way. I think as creatives, we have so many things that we want to do, and we don't have to just fit into a career. It just doesn't suit us. And the goal of this podcast is also to empower you to address this and to embrace it, and to create and design a career that just feels like you, that fulfills you in so many different ways, in creativity, in money, in contacts, in open-mindedness, just giving you all the resources that your brain needs and that you're craving. And this podcast is a good way for me to learn about it and for you to learn about it. So with this podcast, we'll have 3 different types of episodes. We'll have episodes with real professionals, I would call them experts, people who have been working for a long time, who will present their work, who will give us practical tips and advice on the professional world and really bring very powerful insights on how it is to actually work in the creative industries and in architecture, for example. In this podcast, there will be 3 different types of formats. The first format will be interviews with professionals. The goal is to have this side of the work, to have people who have more experience, who have already lived through the industry, who have maybe built their own project or done a few different jobs, and who can really give us a strong, insightful view, so we can understand a bit more what is awaiting us, but also learn from what they have learn from their mistakes, from their point of view, and really try to get as much as possible from these people, from these professionals who have more experience than we do. On top of that, there will be episodes with other students. This will be more of a conversation. The goal is to really share our experiences and talk about so many things that we never really talk about that much. I also want to learn about people who are starting their own project, maybe on the side of their studies, how they're branding it, how they're using it to build their own career. This can also inspire you to start your own project and give you real tips and strategies to start your own project on the side if it's something that feels right to you. And finally, there will be some solo episodes like this one where I will be sharing a bit more personal experience. This will be way more of a transparent and in-depth type of episode where I will share more about my own journey and also giving you real tips and lessons that I have learned along the way. The goal with this podcast is to really ally the practical part of things with the real professional world, but also how you can leverage your own image to get the opportunities that you're looking for. I'm also extremely interested in entrepreneurship, and I really want to talk with people who are starting their own project or working on it and who are designing through it their own career, attracting the new opportunities and building their personal brand. I think we have so much to learn from it in today's world where having a strong personal brand or being visible can just help you so much in your career. Just myself, I can really see how much being on social media and having side projects can help me in my own career. And I really want to give you the keys to start something also. So I'm really excited to start this podcast. I think we will be able to learn so much through it, both you and me, and I really want to make it as valuable as possible for you so that it's worth your time and your mental energy. If this feels like something you would be interested in, make sure that you are subscribing to this podcast. I wish you good luck in your projects and I'll see you then.